Hi, welcome to Lori Tries Life. This is Lori, and I hope this video finds you happy and healthy and well. This video is comparing the beautiful Lunne sole to the gorgeous Lunne. The Lunne sole is published by Liminal 11 and created by Medaglia. The Lunne is by LS Grainne through Make Playing Cards. I have some reasons, pros and cons, to each deck, and I'll leave it up to you to decide which one you like, or both. You can make playing cards. It just had a tuck box. You can get a tin if you want, or even make up your own tin on Make Playing Cards. Lunne sole is very well presented, good presentation, excellent quality as far as the little white book with pictures and really good presentation. Okay, so here we go. We are comparing the Lunne sole to the Lunne. Just a very scientific comparison here is I have been very satisfied with Lunne's cardstock, but look how much difference. Lunne sole it's a chunkier, heftier deck. They both have a very soft palette. They're both pastel colors. This artistry reminds me a little bit cartoony. This is a little bit more day-to-day real life, I think. This one has a lot of humor in it, where I didn't see very much humor here, but that would kind of go to the context of the art as well. I don't know if they started out in comics, although the art is lovely. So let's just go through it, and I'll compare each card and let you see for yourself. Okay, so I got a closer view for you, and you can see we've got looks to be a female version on Lunne. We've got pastels in both. Although we do see a little bit of bright red there with the flowers. We've got a black dog here, white dog here. This appears to be a male figure, which is traditional. We've got the mountains behind, the sun. She doesn't appear to be going off of a cliff. This deck is a very gentle deck, as well as this. There are some differences in them. You can see the moon above here in the contrasting with the sun. Of course, it's called Lunne sole. So we've got the traditional cliff here, and with her, she's got a path, a winding path. The cardstock, to go back to, this is the backs. I love the backs. This is bendy. It's slightly glossy. I don't know if you can see that. This cardstock, I've had problems with it. I played with it a little bit, and it's difficult to do that. I have to kind of pick each one up. It doesn't easily, go from the next card. But I suspect that if you really love this deck, as time goes by, that will take care of itself. It is a stiffer cardstock. It's a stiffer cardstock, and it's a very matte It's a matte, and this one does have a gloss to it. I've never had a problem with Lunne, with Mara Lunne, with the gloss. It's been fine. So, but this one here is Luna Soul is heavily bordered. The titles on the bottom are handwritten or has a special type font, whereas this is pretty is typed rather than some special kind of font, which takes up space because this is bordered, and then we have the border top and bottom of indicator of the card number, as you'll see as we go along. This, in contrast, has no borders, and the art takes up the entire space except for the title, which is very skinny at the bottom. So I'll point out some other things as we go through it, and I'd love to hear your interpretations as well. So yeah, I showed you those backs. Also, lovely backs of Luna Soul. If you do reversals, Mara Lunne is reversible. This one is not. The Mara Lunne has a lot of simplicity and soul, heart and soul to it, which I like. The Luna Soul has some wit to it, has some comedy to it. I like that the elements or instruments of the elements are hanging from the top. He's winking at us. We've got some money on here, which is interesting, and the books of the trade. This one, in contrast, just has the elemental symbols and a very heart-centered, focused, meditative magician. So while the pastel part of it in the very subtle coloration might be similar, they are different. And here again, we've got a lot taken up for the title and the number, and then we've got the border as well. So that's something to think about. It's beautiful. I like it. It's Roman numerals, and they have it embellished with ivy or flowers. So I do enjoy it. But I kind of like the simple, borderless artwork. So I don't know. Let's go on. And again, we've got the High Priestess, and you'll see the simplicity here. It does say in the book of the Luna Soul how steeped in imagery that the tarot in general is, and that this deck would be. And we definitely see it here, don't we? With all the traditional trappings, so to speak, or symbolism, all the traditional symbolism, a little bit different. Like you got the yin and yang symbol here, and up here we've got the is it the pomegranate, I think, and the moon. So right here we have the moon up here in either of them, but this is very simple, right? No Torah book, no. They've got a kind of a nod to the B and the J column with these living plants, which I really enjoy. And this is watercolor, and I believe this is a drawing pen and ink. I couldn't tell from the book exactly, what it was, but this doesn't appear to be watercolor. I'm not an expert, but so yeah, two different styles definitely, but both very gentle. We've got the 12 stars for the Empress, and she's carrying a bounty. And again, this is full of the symbols that you would see. Look at the little bee. There's a bee there. So there's a lot of symbolisms. If you if you enjoy that, if you like to see those little little, I forget what they call them, but little cute little symbols that maybe you might miss if you don't really look hard. But this is definitely a beautiful rendering. Now notice that they change, and I think they just change with the color palette. I don't think there's a rhyme or a reason. This to me feels more realistic, while this feels a little bit like a comic strip. The Emperor. I like the bold, just side view of this Emperor. And this guy, he's got all the symbols again. If you like the symbols, here you go. And he's kind of comical to me. I do like the wit in this, especially as we get down to the minor arcana. Now this one is very serious, very again meditative Hierophant. It looks like she just has a notebook. Yeah. And here we have a student where we don't have one on the Lunne. I don't think I've ever seen one with an elephant, but we're getting some kind of nods to maybe Buddhism. And then I like the student. There's not two, I forget what they call the little monks with the shaved head, not with the crown shaved. I forget what that's called, but I like this to be a woman teaching, receiving the teaching, and he's got keys. He or she's got keys around his belt. Oh my gosh, so many little Easter eggs, right? There's a lot here. There's a lot to look at. So that can be good or bad. I mean, not bad. That can be favorable, or you may not want all that. One thing I do like about the Lunne is it has been very spiritual without being religious. If that doesn't sound too hokey, but that's really what I find. Now this has an extra card. It has a lover's card and you can pick which one. Luna's Soul again has all the good symbolism. In the traditional Rider-Waite lovers, we have the man looking at the female and the woman looking at the angel. So I like that knowledge of the creator that the creator has, but I don't necessarily have to have it in a lover's card. The more I'm looking at this, the more I see they're not as close as I thought they were in style. The only style I think they have going is just their soft color palettes and their gentle nature. Now this is a very surreal Chariot card. It kind of reminds me of Tarot of the Mystical Moments. It kind of reminds me of that type of surreal art. And here we have, again, all the symbols. So the more I look at it, the more I am really saying, these are really more different than I thought. Now, the Luna Soul has 11 as the strength, as many decks do. I like this. And we've got the yin and the yang. They both have their eyes closed. And we've got the deer here and the lion here. So really different. Let's get the hermit here. We've got what looks to be a female hermit. No other symbolism except the staff and the lantern. Here we've got, the enlightenment or the wisdom coming from his chest. We've got a turtle. And looks like very small little mountains. Here we have mountains behind her. Yeah, the art style is definitely different. Even the color, I think. One thing that I did notice upon opening this and going through it is the color palette. It is gentle, it is pastel, but I wish it were a little bit more vibrant. It doesn't have a lot of contrast, I guess is what I'm getting at. Okay, did we miss something? No, okay, Justice. Justice is 8 in Lunne Soul. Okay, so we've got the wheel, very simple. Very simple. We don't have any of the vision, Ezekiel's vision. We don't have any letters, anything. This is a very minimalist deck, symbolism-wise. Here, we are stoked, steeped in symbolism. Got the traditional, they like the yin and the yang for Lunne Soul. We've got all the traditional symbolism and more. We've got the monkey. Very interesting. Very interesting. And here's Justice. I'll let you kind of look at them, and I will try to comment. This Mara Lunne is a more female-centered deck, I would say. Thinking of this, I'm not a fan of bats, so arthritis. The Death card in Mara Lunne, is, oh wow. The Death card is very subdued. It's got the Ouroboros. And then I find this Death card comical. And we've got the bee again. I love bees. I'm not sure what this is. Can't tell what that is. Tell me if you know what it is. We got catfish. Oh, I've got to look this up. Okay, so the Lunne Soul book is pretty. It's hardback, and it's not a ton of pages here. I don't think they're numbered. Oh, 55. It gives you a spread. It gives you a card for each major arcana, and I don't see some of the symbolism. I'm not sure where it comes from. And they don't explain the card like a lot of books do. They just give you, an interpretation. So that's interesting. But I'm not sure what this little thing is, unless it's the moon. There's the sun. Maybe it's the moon. I don't know. I'm not sure. We've got traditional angel type pouring water in from one cup to another. This has a lot more symbolism. This devil is pretty gentle as things go. We've got a lead that we can't see who he's got on a leash. This devil is just, he looks so sad. It's just really, he looks a little comical to me, although nothing's comical about, having people in trapped. The tower, enjoy that little eye, I really do. And the top of this is like a crown. The star card, very simple, plain, yet very beautiful. Lunne, here we have a little bit more to it. And she also has, I forget what they call it on their head, but it to signify the third eye. And it's a beautiful shaped star. Here she's doing the traditional pouring water into water and then water on the ground. This is very simple. Lunne has kind of foregone the traditional symbolism and is very gentle. Please, stop if you want to look at them longer. No creepy babies in either. We've got a unicorn. This is definitely Hinduism. A cat in a coffin floating. Okay. And this is a very gentle judgment card on the Lunne. Just like calling us home. All the butterflies and the pink flowers. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Again, we've got the the vision of Ezekiel and all the symbolism. Here we just have kind of like a mandala, fully clothed person signifying the world. Now we can get into some minor arcana, which has more on the Lunasol, has more kind of humor, wit, which I really enjoy. The 2 and 3 of Wands in any deck that is Rider-Waite based, I love to see what they do with it, because the 2 and especially the 3, they can really do some beautiful things with it. I love This Might Hurt, 3 of Wands. So the 2 of Wands here, we have the whole city he's looking down on. We've got the zodiac or astrological symbols here. Very chill, looking down on the town. This gentleman is looking up, and we don't see anything very concrete as to what he's looking at. Oh, beautiful cards. Oh, I love it. The 3 of Wands. I believe that is the card that is this one that's portrayed on the Lunne Make Plain card page. I love it. She's looking out at the ships, so to speak, coming in. Here we have a kid, it looks like, or a young man or a young woman sitting on the wands. That's interesting. We've got rope. And looking out on the water. Some seagulls or something there. 4 of Wands. This doesn't show any people, but it shows a house. This shows, people having fun. This does not show people having chaos. This does, in a gentle way. They're holding their sticks. Their manhood, maybe. They're in a pissing contest, perhaps. And this, again, is really gentle. All the 5, just like this. These wands here are differently colored. These wands here in Lunne are different each as well. 6 of Wands, a little bit pippish, but traditional. Lunne, 6 of Wands, very beautiful. Very beautiful. 7 of Wands, 8. 9, he seems a little bit embattled, like we usually see. She seems like she may be a little a little over it, but not, not to the extent that normally we see the Nine of Wands. I have to say, this reminds me how much I just love the Marloon. No dissing Luna Soul, but I love Marloon. I really enjoyed this guy's coat and his hat. And then here we have a cat hair. And Page of Wands. Oops. Knight. Both very colorful. Queen. We've got the cat. She doesn't have the cat, does she? Nope. Or the chair. He doesn't have a chair either here. Okay, now we are into cups. So we have the Lotus, more nods toward Buddhism. Two of Cups, very different. Three of Cups, very different. I like the women dancing. I do love this as well, though it is beautiful. But traditionally, I like to see those women having fun. Four of Cups. All the cups here are different. He's in his robe. She looks really put together. Five of Cups. See, it's very comical. This is very very subtle. Very subtle, the Five of Cups. You may not know what the Five of Cups means if you don't know tarot, right? The Five of Cups here, we can definitely see, the cups spilt and her distraught over what she's lost, not taking into account what she has. And this is more subtle. So that might be a selling point more for Luna Soul, in that it might be a better beginner reader. Six of Cups. I like seeing the children. I'm sorry. Six of Cups is one of my favorite cards that I like to see in a deck. Nah, I'm not having this. Just Six Cups. I love this right here. This is more demonstrative of the Seven of Cups. The worry or the confusion on the face. And generally, the RWS, we do see the man from behind or the side, but here we got a full front on, like, confusion. I enjoy the humor of the Luna Soul. We've got this guy, I think it's a gentleman. I don't know if he is wearing this color shirt or if he doesn't have a shirt on, and it kind of looks like he's a merman, but he's got green slacks if he's not. Slacks. Oh my gosh, I sound like a grandma. We've got the traditional symbolism, but I really do enjoy the Eight of Cups, that last cup. He finished things, but maybe not on the greatest of terms. And these here, those cups are, very symmetrical, and, she's done with that part of her life. She's content with it, and she's moving on. I don't like the traditional Nine of Cups man sitting, I do like this, where he is maybe a little enlightened, maybe more appreciative. He doesn't have any kind of look on his face. It's kind of a blank expression. But I like it better than that, the traditional RWS man. He's kind of, he or she, I think it's I don't know, he or she is content. I don't think they're flaunting it as much as the RWS. They're both nice. Very pippish. I like the showing of everyone coming together and loving each other, all different races. Oh, what a wonderful world. That, maybe a little Pollyanna, but nevertheless, it's something that we want to achieve. And I like seeing people. So in this case, I like this card. The Page of Cups, we have a full-on mermaid. And here we have a woman looking at the moon. Knight of Cups. See, these stick together. I'm sure that as you use them, they will not. This is a beautiful watercolor painting of a hot young guy. And he looks maybe like I wouldn't want to date him. I'd go after that. This guy seems just a little bit comical. We've got a shooting star. Is that what that is? We got the boots. He's riding on a salmon or a catfish. Probably a salmon. Interesting, both of them. We've got the mermaid again and the Queen of Cups. Here she is. Okay, now I like these breasts, okay? These are mine. I'm just saggy boobs. So I like the reality in this. This one does have a little, like I said, a little punch of wit in there. I'm not sure what she's holding. This is kind of, is it like maybe a whale? Does that look like a spout of a whale? Maybe just an embellishment on her chair. But you can help me out and tell me what that, come on, what that is. An 8-ball? King of Cups, very straight on. A little comical. Look at that nose. I love it. Love the chairs. I love the cups chairs for the king and the queen. Hard to get, hard to get. Ace of Swords. Very similar, actually. 2, we've got a person here and no person there. Very similar, however, in their intent. We've got, this looks like one of those candy hearts that say something on them. And this has like the carnation and greenery all around it instead of blood. But there is that red right in the middle, right around the yellow. So it kind of goes towards heartbreak. This one actually literally is heartbreak, right? We've got a meditative 4 of Swords here. And this gentleman is meditative also. He looks like a Karate Kid kind of guy. I mean, dressed in robes and slipper. I've never seen the swords composed like that, and they're all different. I like that too. 5 of Swords. Beautifully depicted. I don't know if I were new to tarot, if I would pick up on that. This is a little bit more clear. Look at the people hiding. We've got like a society in ruins or a temporary fort of sorts. And we've got people hiding. We've got the victor, so to speak. And we have dead people. King of the Hill. He's king of the hill. I enjoy this 6 of Swords in Luna Soul, how she's balancing on the swords, making her way towards a new opportunity, new place. And this is simple yet beautiful again. Here we have, again, a female. She's stealing away. She's secreting those swords under the cover of darkness. And here we have, he looks like Jughead, kind of. But he is also, like, secretive, hiding, trying to get away with something. The Luna Soul, 8 of Swords. We've got her wrapped. Purple hair, love that. Oh, I do enjoy this. See this? Get here. This is one of the clever cards. One of the more clever cards. She's got her hair blowing in the wind, which is blinding her. She's bound with her arms. It doesn't look too tightly at all. And then the swords are all around her. But look, she's even got a ladder to make her way down. I think that's so clever. That's where this not necessarily misses out, but is not the style of Marloon. It's not Marloon's style to be comedic. where the Lunne soul does give way. It lends itself to having a little bit of comedy there, like the expression on the woman's face is. We know that Nine of Swords can be very tough, right? This has been a stalker card of mine for a while in the past, and I get that Nine of Swords, and I know a lot of us can. This is more heartbreaking and kind of like not visceral, but more personal kind of to her. And this is like makes light of it to all of us. We can understand it all. We can understand it in her face. Not so much in this one, but we can take a little laugh at this, right? I like both of these. Again, this is like all the different colors of the swords. No blood or guts, just out of the ending is actually a beginning, as demonstrated by the flowers coming out. This Ten of Swords, we don't see a body. It's gentler, and we do have we do have doves like flying above, and the sun rising, to meet a new day, a new beginning. Oh, and the sticking together again. Page of Swords. Love the green hair. Love the green hair. I like both of these. Again, different styles. I thought when I put them together, it would be a really fair comparison, but it's apples and oranges. The only thing in common, I believe, is the palette, the soft palette, and the attempt at both of them. This more so, but the attempt to be more gentle. This has a wit to many of the cards. Within the cards, the figures themselves seem a little comic, whereas this is artistically more real. So it just depends on what you want. They're both beautiful decks. Very simple Queen of Swords. She's got feathers in her hair to signify the air. Love the green there. We've got green over here too. We've got the owl sitting on the sword. I like that. And she's got like a wisp of cloud situation in her hair. I like the full figure. These are really pretty people, I will say. Whereas, we get a little bit of different body types and maybe like outside social norms. Not at all to any extent, just kind of a little tongue-in-cheek maybe. Definitely different vibes. He is got it together. He's cool. He's hot. He's hot. This king, he looks like an old man. But he's flying. Look at that. He's got a butterfly at top here, and he's got a throne made of clouds, and it looks like to me, by the waving of his gown or his cape or his cloak, he's flying. I like that. And then our last suit is the Suit of Pentacles. Both very similar, more serious, a little comedic. As I guess the takeaway is that's what it is, more comedic, more cartoonish, more realistic. Three of Discs. This one's a little bit more community orientated. I love this Four of Discs. It's a perfect expression of the card. The man is holding 4 discs. He doesn't want to let go. Look, he's in his jammies or his jogging clothes with sneakers, but he cannot get through the door unless he lets go of one of or more of the Pentacles discs. I think that's really cute. I enjoyed that. And this, of course, Pippish. It kind of gives you a different meaning, a different feel. Leaving those pentacles where they're at so they can, like it's delayed gratification. Being disciplined and having a delayed gratification. This is a little bit more like he went out to get some beer and he doesn't want to let the beer go to get inside the house. It's cute. The Five of Pentacles is usually a very emotional card for me. We get the kind of cathedral window here that she's not getting. And here is very clever. Again, he's got the discs on his back behind him, so he can't see what he has. He's not able to take stock of what he does have. So I thought that was interesting as I look at it. And again, sticky, sticky. Six of discs, both very pippish. Seven, pretty much the same depiction, except she's standing up, kind of about ready to pick him maybe, and he's chilling, or she, watching. Pretty much the same, just a different art style. Eight of Pentacles. Nothing really to say there. Nine of Pentacles or discs. I really love this one here. She's full, so full, pink, just beautiful. And that's something to consider too. Sometimes I get sick of a deck that has too much beautiful people. This definitely has more diversity size-wise, and they both have, racial diversity. This is more geared, more of a female deck, portraying female women. Female women, is there any other kind? Yeah. I like this. I enjoy this. But I do like the house and the people here. If we look close, we can see the people all gathered. And then up the hill, we've managed to acquire 10 discs. So that is apropos. Here we've got 10 pentacles as lanterns. And this does have diversity, different colors, skin colors. Cute. Hairy legs. And I believe, yeah, I like that. Beautiful people again, comic people. Again, we've got a bull or a cow, and we've got a picture of, we have a picture of something? I can't see that. But the knights are very different than traditional RWS. Queen, both really beautiful. This one is holding, what is she holding? A pentacle in the form of a braided swirl circle. And she's got antlers. Here, we've got a fish, the fish. We've got butterflies. We've got a fox. We have a deer. We have lots of things. And again, different body sizes. It gives us full-figured gals something to identify with. And again, here we've got, a hot dad or whatever. And we've got a cute and comical grandpa. So I guess the difference is a lot of things. The deck makeup of the paper. This is papery, very matte, a lot thicker. This is thinner, semi-gloss. They have pretty people. They have diversity of skin color. This is colored kind of like a comic strip, and they have a lot of wit, a lot of humor in their cards. This is more realistic. Let's see if we can find a couple of things in here. We've got some chicks in a nest crying out for their mom to feed them. We've got a snail. Let's see if we can see anything else. We've got his disc, and you could probably find a lot of things if you really looked. At least that's what the book says. And this very much has lots of symbolism. The Lunne soul. The Marlune does not, and I think it does that on purpose. Also, I need to tell you that there is two extra cards. There's one extra card, a lover's card, that you can choose which one you want. And then there is, in the Lunne soul, they have duality, which is exactly what it says, and there's gobs of symbols here. Look at that. And then this says Wu Wei, which means, I believe it means doing nothing. So these are two extra cards that came after the major arcana. Both really, really beautiful decks. Yeah, different impressions. I thought that they would be a good study of comparison, but actually I find they're very different. And it just depends on what you're looking for. You may want both of them. The Marlune, I actually was gifted for Christmas a baby Marlune, which I believe is counterfeit. So that's another story. I don't think I've ever bought or been gifted a counterfeit before. I think it came from China, so that's a whole other story. I thought it would be a good comparison, and I'm glad I did it because I can appreciate both decks for what they are, and if I'm being honest, I would, which of course you want honesty, right? I would use the Marlune more, continue to use the Marlune than this. I believe if you enjoyed this, I did enjoy the nods to, the comedic, especially the Four of Pentacles. But it does have an issue with sticking together. But I really think that if you use it a lot, it'll work its way to being a little bit more manageable. It is a really thick deck, so for people that have some issues with really thick decks, that's something to consider. But they are both beautiful. This is very simplistic, and again, this deck, Marlune, is more spiritual without all the religious baggage, so to speak, and symbolism. This one is steeped in symbolism with a fair portion of it giving a nod to Buddhism, maybe Hinduism. I hope you enjoyed this comparison. I liked doing it, and we're going to find out if this is a legitimate tiny Marlune deck, or if I did something wrong, or I didn't do it, but I was gifted it. So anyway, I appreciate you if you've stuck with me this far. I enjoyed doing it. This Lunne Soul presentation is fantastic, out of this world. It's got great cardstock. It just kind of sticks together, which I think will resolve itself. Thank you. Stay happy, healthy, and keep riding that wheel. And until next time, this is Lori with Lori Tries Life. Bye-bye.